Hey, what is up guys? That'SoTech here, bringing you guys Galaxy S7 Edge review. So let's get started, shall we? Starting off with the beautiful screen, first thing you see when you look at this phone. That is a 1440p Super AMOLED display. So that's 1440 pixels by 2560 pixels with an approximate 534 pixel density. That's pixels per inch. Pretty nice stuff. It's made out of Gorilla Glass 4, so you're not scratching or breaking this thing very easily. You'd have to significantly drop it or smash it in order to cause any scratches or damage in general. Very nice screen, super sharp. Dark scenes look super nice. The curved display makes watching content pop. It's a nice display. Nothing else to say on that topic. Moving around back, we find your 12 megapixel 4K capable camera. This is the camera you will be doing most of your videos, photography, anything you use this phone to take pictures with, get copy media, record, capture events, scenes. Pretty much anything you would do with your camera is replaced by this phone, and it is super high quality. No need to carry a high-end camera with you anywhere. This phone pretty much replaces that. Quality is insane. And again, if you move to the front, there is the FaceTime camera, the front-facing camera, Skype, web call, whatever you wanted to call it. This camera is a 5 megapixel. It's fairly decent. It's better than a lot of cameras on some phones that do their, for Skype or FaceTime or whatever you want to use it for. It gets the job done, and it does its job pretty well. It has the wide lens, so if you want to take those wide-angle selfies, you can get them very easily and not have your entire arm showing in the thing without, give that close-up selfie annoying view. Fixes that with the wide lens, so very nice up there. And with that said, that's all of the important stuff on the outside, or most of the really important features of this phone on the outside. So let's move in. First thing first, you have the powerhouse of this phone. That is the Snapdragon 820, depending on the region. The model I have here is a Snapdragon 820 processor with 4 gigs of RAM and a 3600 milliamp hour battery. Very nice. That's a 600 milliamp larger battery than the regular S7, and I mean that balances out somewhat with the extra screen room. Should use a little bit more power theoretically than the regular S7, which this could improve battery life, assuming it's not using that much the extra 600 milliamp. So if you're interested in a little bit longer battery life, check out the Edge over the regular S7. But that is just a guess. Don't take my word for fact on that one. And that is pretty much all of the specs that are, going to make any difference in anything. There is a card expansion slot, like a micro SD card expansion slot on the top. It pops out with your SIM card and a little spot for a micro SD card. You can expand storage through this slot up to, I think, 200 gigabytes with the regular SIM card. So coming with a 32 gig version right here, that's 32 gigs plus 200 gigabytes total storage you could add, and that's just insane for a phone. And if you're recording in 4K, you might want to do that if you're using this as your main camera. Nice stuff. They brought the SD card back. I love it. However, the battery, the 3600 milliamp battery I mentioned earlier, is not removable. So if you're coming from an older S4 or something, that is one downfall to this phone. I'm not saying it should be a con, but it could be. Personally, I used to switch out batteries instead of having to charge the thing constantly for my S4, so it could be a con depending on personal preference. Moving on, we're going to check out the dimensions, the size, the weight of this phone. So for you fellas not using the same system as the United States, which is, I believe, the Imperial system, this is for you guys, the 150.9 by 72.6 by 7.7 millimeters. And for everybody else in the United States, 5.94 by 2.86 by 0.30 inches. And that totals out to a weight of 157 grams or 5.54 ounces. And last but not least, the software side of things, we have Android 6.0 Marshmallow, which this phone will be supported for updates and OS updates in the future because it is Samsung's latest phone. And usually they support their phones for 2-ish years for updates, and so whenever 6.1, 7, or getting up towards 7 comes out, you will be able to update to that if you're interested. 6.0 Marshmallow is actually fairly nice and personal. This is just a personal. I thought 6.0, very nice OS, runs well on this phone. And heck, while I'm at it, personal thoughts on this phone. It's very nice to hold, very nice to look at. It's an overall beautiful phone just to, look at, hold, feel. It feels it feels heavy, but it's not a bad way. It feels premium. It's not like a heavy brick, but it's not light like it's a cheap plastic phone. It is metal, glass, and it's quality. It's Samsung's best of the best, I believe, and it's really impressive how strong, prominent this phone actually is. It's nice. Using it, I've used it for the last 2-ish weeks, and it's unbelievable. It's improvement and a half from my previous phone, and the camera is one of the biggest sellers for me. That 4K resolution for recording videos is just insane. The screen is insane. I watch YouTube on it all the time. Granted, YouTube content is dependent on creators too. I watch a lot of Linus Tech Tips, a lot of other gaming videos just for entertainment reasons. And when I watch Netflix or a movie or anything, those movies, the high-end professional films, are stunning. Like, the quality is insane. Streaming at 1080p, of course, because can't really do much more, otherwise I'll lag out or have to buffer. But 1080p on this screen, even though it's a little bit lower than the actual native resolution, is still stunning. Everything looks sharp, pops out. It just looks nice. I will put in a test for the camera and the front-facing camera, the selfie cam at the end, unedited, so that you guys can see how nice this phone takes pictures, video, whatever. And yeah, by the way, gonna pop this out at the end. This microphone I am recording with is the phone right now, just so you guys know. It records very nicely, and I figured I'd use the phone as the microphone just to give you guys a idea of what it's going to sound like to call, even though you're still restricted by the actual signal going through the towers and across the country, how far it has to travel, everything. That's going to affect quality, but right from a straight recording, it's going through the microphone to the computer right now, and it's being saved as a audio file. This is how it sounds. Testing, as though you haven't had enough test already. On the bottom we have a micro USB, which actually, that's one thing, personal preference. I mean, I'm fine with it because I've already had a bunch of charging cables already for it then. But I would have expected a USB-C or something more not relevant, but updated from a phone just released 2016. Like, I don't know. I would expect them to, boast advanced features, newer stuff on their phones, which they have for the most part. That's the only thing that really didn't get updated, is the micro USB port. Otherwise, this phone's freaking top of the line tech, you can get for your money. Other than that, guys, personal thoughts, great phone, do recommend. I don't have much to say against it besides the removable battery, and sometimes the touch whiz can be an issue like it always has, but for the most part it's improved. since previous Android devices. And there's no reason to really, crack this device and put on your own OS or whatever user-created stuff. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And please remember to like and subscribe. This is a great phone.